Yeah.
Mahalo.
Good afternoon, council people. Cory Hardin speaking for myself on communication 369 regarding the county expenses for Mauna Kea. I think what we're seeing on Mauna Kea is the reemergence of the Hawaiian nation, and I don't think the county has the resources or the heart to stand in the way of that. The TMT people say what we're seeing is culture versus science, and I don't think so. I think instead we're seeing culture versus the wrongs done in the name of science. Really want to thank Matt Cunningly Kleinfelder for introducing the communication so we can really see what TMT is costing the county. There's also the cost for the National Guard and for other counties to send their police officers here. Oahu ended up sending over 50 officers despite their being so short-staffed they can't even investigate some car thefts and home burglaries. I hope you will ask what it is going to cost if police protection is needed for about 10 years of construction. And also, how would public safety be protected all that time on the rest of the island? Some say police protection is warranted since the Supreme Court decision gave TMT the legal right to build, but there's a lot of concerns about that legal decision. The court said the TMT will not curtail or restrict Native Hawaiian uses, but seeing the hundreds of people who are up there camped out, some chaining themselves to a cattle guard, they, very strongly feel otherwise. The court said TMT will be decommissioned at the end of the lease, but as other people have pointed out, TMT would need to start decommissioning basically as soon as they're built to be done before the lease expires. And right now they don't have the money for decommissioning. Earth Justice expressed concern that the legal decision was too narrow. A quote from them: "The opinion included language suggesting that agencies could limit their analysis of impacts to just the specific project footprint while disregarding broader harms." The Supreme Court decision talks about a community benefits package, but Earth Justice questions whether such benefits fulfill the public trust doctrine. To their credit, our leaders realized there's no morally acceptable way to remove the protectors. TMT could go to the Canary Islands or Chile, and what needs to happen is our leaders need to quietly urge TMT to go where the police protection bills will not bankrupt the host. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Yvonne Robert. I live in Hilo, and I want to thank everyone for letting me testify today. I am testifying. I'm here because I'm in favor of Communication 369 to require a report on expenses related to Mauna Kea. I'd like to see a detailed report of which county agencies are involved in the expenses for Mauna Kea, and if possible, to do a year-over-year comparison. So we can say God bless you. A year-over-year comparison of expenses. Maybe we can go back 5 years to see how much did we spend on police since July 15th, 2019, compared to July 15th, 2018 and 2017, going back 5 years. And if we can also delineate which county agencies and the reason why. Why are we spending this much more money in 2019 compared to other years? I think another component, we can go to our county records and find out how much we've spent in all these different areas, and we can probably go back 5 years or 10 years if we wanted to. Another important factor is the cost of lost businesses, the cost of lost revenue to businesses who depend on access to Mauna Kea. I've heard of some tour operators already going under because that's how they made 90-100% of their livelihood. How are they affected? I think when we're trying to promote our economy and help our residents have a decent wage, we need to consider lost revenue. And please also consider, and this is the part that breaks my heart, Please also consider the cost of time lost to the astronomers because they can't get up to the existing observatories for their viewing time, sometimes arranged years in advance. How many opportunities have they lost? Some of them can't be recovered. So there's one aspect to cost. It's the hard numbers, but also these other aspects. And the people in the existing observatories, they can't get to their jobs. I mean, they're not going to go in their cars and start building TMT. They should be able to go to work.
You can summarize. You have 30 seconds.
Thank you.
Oh, mahalo for your testimony.
My name is Daniel Smith. I am in support of Communication 369 on the request of finance report and county expenses relating to Mauna Kea. Now, for these three to be upheld, I feel is very strong, especially number one, specifically how expenses relating to Mauna Kea are being tracked. The woman who spoke a couple before me, she mentioned the specificity of how the expenses are being placed per agency, be that if the county itself is having funds that are coming out of it, as well as whatever other agency that the county may be hiring in order to take care of whatever it is, any offshoot expenses that need to be shown. Since the year of 2015, the second point, funds expended 2015 related to Mauna Kea, and the current total of funds expended relating to Mauna Kea, because it has been going on since 2015, and be it legislative, judicial, depending on how specific I feel is really important, because there are a lot of pieces to this, and especially regarding that, as word of Senator Kahele himself mentions that the county has no jurisdictional authority over Mauna Kea. And so with the state making all these decisions, be it Governor Ige in support of TMT, and the county not having any sort of say in it, well, obviously the people of the county are standing on the road to make sure that what has been ignored is actually heard, and that the sheer numbers of supporters and protectors, not only on this island but across the other islands, goes to show that how much is Governor Ige actually paying attention to what's being said, or is there some other kind of lining the pockets going on of whatever interest that might be there. Of course, it's always interesting to find out how much any sort of funds are coming through, be it obviously economy is a major factor in all this, and so having a telescope go up is in support of certain economical benefits. But when we have certain issues based on our leadership in the past, Catherine K. Aloha and the environmental impact statement, that once an ecosystem is destroyed, you can't recover it. And so there's a lot of factors regarding this, and so I support any transparency that is called for and requested. Mahalo.
Mahalo for your testimony.
I forgot to mention to you that
You're giving her your time?
No, I'm not giving her my time, but it's up to them. I can't.
I really have to be fair to
TMT is
everybody.
run by the university. It's the largest employer in the
I'm sorry,
state.
Marcia. I really have
I'm
to
not
give
Marcia.
her. Marcia.
Okay, nice to see you. Oh, is this on?
Go ahead.
Okay,
Ms.
I
Ms.
believe
Maya.
everybody has a right to their opinion, and we, can all make educated guesses too. I'm here to be in support of Communication 369. I think it's very important that we know where the county money is going, and especially if it could be better spent, like lava aid and things like that. I just wanted to let you know, to do with the County of Hawaii Police Department. Right now, they're still doing the final things of getting accredited, and there's things they do like neck strikes, pain compliance, lethal use of force up to lethal force. And to me, it's a scary thing when they could be going up on the mountain and hurting kapuna. And So right now, you know, the ESF number 11 emergency support function has been filed. And basically under fraud with the FBI and the Department of Interior Office of the Inspector General. The reason I'm bringing this up is that the county really should not be supporting the TMT and the UH if they're gonna be doing things that are illegal. It should be the other way, that the police department should be protecting us. And the other thing is that I just want to bring up that the lease itself does not allow any harm to the Hawaiians, and it's also, they're not supposed to discriminate against national origin. So in this case, the national origin is Hawaiian Kingdom nationals. So I wanted to state that also, according to reports, that there has been significant premeditated attempts to stop cultural data from going through, stop the interpreters, language access coordinators, and I need to remind the county, they are a municipal corporation of the state. So it was mentioned that the court had ruled in favor of TMT. Well, they just actually committed violations of conditions of statehood.
You have 30 seconds to sum up.
Okay. And so right now up on Mauna Kea, we need to do commissioning, but, and actually my big brother just retired from NASA. I took observatory classes, but I don't think we have the right to come in here and with a land script college based on a kingdom college, I mean, doing things that the Hawaiians don't like. And it's also not just that. I mean, you could see that there's damage up there. And so please, this is the final thing I'm going to say to all of you. The sound cannon, the sheriff had to stand in front of that sound cannon and protect our national treasures. Edith Kanakolis, the kapunas were up there, okay? And they're doing their best to protect the mountain, but Ige brought up the sound cannon and he was using it as a, an amplifier to speak. And at any moment he could have turned it on. So please,
Thank you.
our police should help us. Thank you.
And thank you for providing us with the letter, okay?